Hello, my name is Kevin Helmick. I'm President and CEO of Farmers National Bank, and welcome to another Blue Table Talk. Today I have as our guest Guy Coviello, and Guy is the incoming President and CEO of the Youngstown Warren Area Regional Chamber of Commerce. Well, first, Guy, congratulations on the announcement.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and Guy and I have known each other for quite a long time, and couldn't be happier for you. I guess the first thing I would ask for our audience is just give us a little bit about your background. And I know you're the foundation president currently, which has been an important role for the chamber over a number of years. So tell us a little bit about that, and as well as your background, your personal background.
Well, we'll go back to my 30-year career as a journalist at the Tribune Chronicle. I started there as a part-time sports writer while I was in college. I left there in 2014 as the editor. Came over to the chamber as the vice president of government affairs. In 2018, rolled a dual hat of that and then also foundation president. And then on March 1st, I'll take over as president and CEO.
Well, very exciting. And I know we have a strong presence for the chamber in the Mahoning Valley. Tom Humphreys, and we know Tom, and I'm sure he's working with you on the transition. Maybe talk a little bit about your relationship with Tom and the expectations of how Tom will be involved or maybe not be involved after.
So Tom and I meet on a daily basis right now for my learning curve. Talk about big footprints, and probably one of the most intimidating parts of taking this job is from my office I can look out the window and see the building that is named after my predecessor. There's not much more intimidating than that. For somebody to deserve to have a building named after him, those are pretty big footsteps to fill.
Well, I'm sure he'll continue to be a good resource for you, as well as, I know many of the board members at the chamber and the support you'll have from a strong board as well. Maybe give us a glimpse into the first 90 days. So you mentioned March 1st. So what do the first 90 days look like for you?
So I think one of the things that you're going to probably see pretty quickly is our collaboration and partnering with other organizations in the community, in the region, and all the way to the state. I think that there's some improvement that we can do there that would greatly benefit the local economy, greatly benefit local businesses. And so I look forward to working with organizations like the Western Reserve Port Authority, the Eastgate Council of Governments, Team NEO, Jobs Ohio, even Bright Energy Innovators in downtown Warren, Youngstown Business Incubator in downtown Youngstown. I think there's a lot that we can accomplish working together and improving on those partnerships.
How has the pandemic changed what the chamber does, or potentially how the chamber does it? I mean, what are the views? We all understand that the economy has changed, and consumer and commercial business behavior has changed through the pandemic. How does the chamber think about that?
Well, one of the things that I think we did very well when the pandemic hit was launch our Emerge program, and the word emerge is the whole concept. We're helping the local businesses emerge from the crisis. And one of the best resources that a Chamber of Commerce can provide, I think, is the advocacy that businesses need. If you think about the size of government before the pandemic and how much help small businesses especially need to navigate through, whether it's regulations or opportunities, that the size of government doubled, maybe tripled when the pandemic hit. So I think we're very successful at really focusing on what the small businesses in this community need to help them navigate through this crisis. So whether it was just helping them filter out what they really needed to know from the thousands and thousands of pages of new regulations, but also the opportunities around the PPP. And many of our businesses never had a relationship with the SBA. And so helping them get through that, helping them find the ease of converting those loans into grants, and then also just one-on-one help on some one-off issues that would come up that were very unique to some of our businesses. So I think we really discovered, and I think our members really discovered the value of a chamber membership to get through those kinds of issues.
Anything else you can tell us about maybe the long-term vision for the chamber and economic development for the Valley is so important. And we think about the, of course, Lordstown Motors and all the good work. I know the Chamber was involved in that from the beginning, and also the incubator downtown and what all the things that the university has done, how we tie those things together and just continue to grow as an economy here.
So I think long term, and I'm looking at to 2030. I think that this community, and I feel very strongly that this community has what I would call 4 sustainable competitive advantages over virtually every other community in the country to grow the economy. And I think that's where we all need to come together and focus on those 4 competitive advantages. And you'll probably see something very soon here around one of those advantages, which is around that whole electric autonomous vehicle space. And what we see out in Lordstown right now with an EV vehicle factory, a battery factory, but we can take it way beyond that and create what we call the Lordstown Smart Logistics Hub, where everything is connected, everything one day will be autonomous. And one of the hallmarks of that is the concept of Inroad mobile charging. And so if you look at the plan that we've worked on with Eastgate, and Eastgate's really taken the lead on this, and also the Port Authority, but many other organizations from here to Columbus, you could literally one day get off the turnpike with your electric vehicle at mile marker 215, drive 37 miles an hour on Halleck Young Road, and then enter at mile marker 216 fully charged. All right there in the ground. We could be the first place in the country where you can take all of that autonomous and electric vehicle connected mobility testing and development, and actually have a place here where it's the first of its kind for private sector revenue generating use. And so there's a pillar on which we can really have a competitive advantage to build our economy. Another area is around additive manufacturing. And if you look at what's happening at America Makes right now, which has an enormous war chest from the military and from the private sector to help manufacturers adapt additive technology so that they can become more competitive and diversify their product lines, but also to help small and mid-size manufacturers enter the vast military supply chain. So we can put some policies together and some partnerships together, and you'll see that very soon here, so that our manufacturers can dip into that. And to give you one really just simple idea of how important this is going to be for us, we celebrate these jobs at Lordstown, making electric vehicles, making batteries for electric vehicles. We have to remember that there are thousands of jobs in this community that are dependent on the combustion engine that's going to go away. So this idea of additive manufacturing and what we have at America Makes that nobody else in the country has can solve that problem by helping these manufacturers bring on additive technologies, make different products, and become more competitive and grow. So those are 2 of the 4. Entering that military supply chain, taking advantage of what we have at the Youngstown Air Reserve Station, and also the shale revolution, which I think is still very real. Those are other advantages that we have that nobody else has.
Right. Well, very interesting, and I could definitely see your passion and see how engaged you are, and appreciate you joining us here for a Blue Table Talk. And I know your success and the success of the Chamber is tied to all of our success in the business community and beyond in the Mahoning Valley. So we'll be keeping a close eye on Guy Coviello and the Youngstown Warren Area Chamber. And best of luck to you. And again, thanks for joining us for a Blue Table Talk.
Thank you, and thank you for being a bank headquartered in the Valley.
You bet. All right, Guy, thanks.